And game number 1 is here between Sitaux and TaToH, the second to last game in the series. See on the left-hand side, Sitaux playing with the Italians. Game number 1 is going to take place on cross, of course. TaToH on the right-hand side instead is playing with the Byzantines. Then you can become a ghost. Just sign all your payments with Luca and then switch name again and they will search for Luca, so no bills due. Yeah, you know, actually that did cause a few issues for me when like opening accounts online for stuff. I need to go and fix that. I'm just not really giving it particularly high priority. Regardless though. Taking a look at Sitaux's civilization playing with the Italians. You'll get 15% discount on fishing ships, a 15% discount to go up to the next stage. 20% cheaper gunpowder units, 33% discount on dock and university upgrades, while for the team bonus they have condottieri from the barracks in the Imperial Age. TaToH, playing with the Byzantines, will get 10, 20, 30, and 40% extra HP in the dark. Feudal, Castle and Imperial Ages. 25% cheaper skirm, spear, and counter rider units will make counter units pretty accessible to the Byzantines, in addition to a 33% discount to go up to the Imperial Age. Free Town Watch, Free Town Patrol, and 25% faster attack and fire line ships will round up the standard ship bonuses for the Byzantines, while the team bonus, on the other hand, will give them 100% faster healing monks. Speaking of age, anyway, let's go. Yes! You should fix it. It sounds horrible. You don't like your own name? When that causes visa issues? I don't think so, because I'm going to fix that before trying to apply for any visas. As a matter of fact, I do need to fix my ID before I try to apply for Italian citizenship. I do need to fix my ID before I can apply for a passport as well. So I will need to do all of these things this year. And yeah, that's like pretty high priority now to fix the ID. I mean, it's not really going to cause any issues if I just use the ID that I have right now and I just kind of stick to Luca and embrace the typo as my new name, but I actually do like the S at the end, so I'm gonna try and have it fixed. Let's take a look at the map generation then. On the left hand side, Sitaux. It's got the main goal on the back. Beautiful. And not only the main goal on the back, he's got the secondary goal behind the TC. The other secondary goal is going to be towards the southeast. While for stone, we have the main stone up in the north. Secondary stone is going to be on the right hand side. If he gets the walls up like this, because he's spawned very close to the corner of the map, he will be able to secure both these. He will be able to secure this one as well. But no wall lines though, unless he went for the walls around here or something like this instead. Which could potentially be the case, right? He's collecting wood from here, so going for the walls that I was originally suggesting wouldn't really be enough for him to scare himself, and this seems like a little bit more like what Sitaux's hoping to go for. In Germany, they'll call you Lucas anyway, with a K. Then you have a K and the S again. Yeah, probably. Lucas. That's a name that Duolingo actually uses quite a lot for the sentences. On the left hand side, we have the main goal for TaToH, and this is going to be kind of forward, or forwardish. On the right hand side, we have the secondary gold far away from TaToH, and then there is another secondary gold towards the northwest, extremely far away from the TC. Stone, it's going to be forward as well for TaToH, the main stone, secondary stone on the left hand side. It's going to be kind of exposed as well, and unlike Sitaux, TaToH's TC is not that close to the corner of the map, so if you wanted to go for walls towards the edge of the map, that would be much harder for him to get away with, right? A little bit pricier, a little bit harder to defend, especially the area around here, it'll be pretty difficult for him to defend. Instead, maybe going for something like this would make a little bit more sense from a cost point of view. But it's not guaranteed, of course. We'll see what eventually he does end up going for. Just remember that TaToH refused the anatomy read for missing a gold when analyzing his map and won. Alright. Village here for both these guys very soon. Yes, sir. TaToH already knows about the dog from Sitaux. He doesn't know about it. Down the south, does Sitaux know about the dog from TaToH? He does not know about it. Nobody seems to be sending villagers over to the back docks of anybody else. Instead, we're going to see a villager from TaToH going out to the north. And if we take a look at this Captain information, he might have sent the villager for before he realized that Sitaux was actually closer to the left-hand side. Now he sees this. But the villager is already close to the north pond, right? So he's just going to try and take the fish from there. Here come the Minotaurs. No walls coming up for TaToH whatsoever. Just local walls around the resources. Won't really be able to do much of anything in terms of completely walling his entire base, though. Yeah. The Minotaurs keep on roaming around. Yes. They force the walls up from TaToH, yes. Hasn't really gotten any damage done yet. Sitaux, on the other hand, sending a villager up to the north as well to try and get Doc up over here, and we'll see if he realizes about this. There's always some risk entailed in trying to scout the shoreline with a villager because it's going to have as much line of sight. It's going to be actually less line of sight than a dock over here, so in this case, in Sitaux, if he were to just use the villager for scouting, right, he would get spotted himself. So just going to try and get the dock up where he hopes he will go undetected for the time being. And here come the walls. The wall attempts from TaToH. They are not going to connect at the very least, not on time. While he's trying to body block the villagers with the scout, he does end up getting a little bit of HP. Lost to the TC fight, and the Minotaurs do come in, but they were already in before. They couldn't really do anything. Sitaux was really banking on the scout, body blocking the villagers to potentially get a kill over there now. Yeah, TaToH's getting archers out. And it's gonna be fine. He should be able to push those Minotaurs away back on the blue player's base. We'll see instead that we have 5 coal miners for Mr. Sitaux. And he should be going for archers himself, and he is. Which means these archers from TaToH, they should end up taking the Minotaurs away. Or the Minotaurs down, right? And it's going to become an archer v archer kind of game. And by the way, Sitaux realized about the dock though, so he's got the first fire galley already out, the second fire galley on the way, and Sitaux is only going for the first fire galley right now. TaToH's getting pushed away from the north dock as well. Yeah, and the Minotaurs cannot really do much of anything. So he's been unable to get even a single villager. That is a lot of resources Sitaux has spent into going for the militia's Minotaur upgrade. And doesn't really have anything to show for it. Meanwhile, up in the north, it seems like it's going to be TaToH that want to get control over here. And the red player is looking absolutely fantastic. What will be your predictions for the series over here, the third series of the day? Well, it's going to be fourth. I guess technically for me it's going to be the third. Oh, wait a moment. Actually, for me, it would be the fourth as well, right? Because I cast Nili series on his channel. And then I finished casting the second set. And then the previous one was the third, so this is the fourth. Well, anyway. My prediction over here will be probably 2-1 in favor of TaToH, but I think anything's possible. It's gonna be a big demo. TaToH has taken some measures over here to prevent a demolition raft from getting too much damage done. He's scattering the units around. So the docks Yeah, the demolition raft is going to get ejected, and Sitaux does not seem to be paying too much attention over here. TaToH does not seem to be paying too much attention. But yeah, the duck's going down. And Sitaux's coming in. He's coming in with the archers straight past the TC. He's taking the skirmisher down, and TaToH's bringing the archers down. He's taking the Minotaurs down finally, by the way, but he's bringing the archers down to defend against the archers. The quick walls are coming out now for TaToH's will. Still has not lost a single villager so far. Worker efficiency is going to take a big hit, however. But by getting control of the pond up in the north. Yeah, and it seems like he's going to keep control of the pond down the south over there. The sneaky dock from Sitaux does not seem to be working out, right? TaToH should be left on a much stronger economy once the water settles, so to say. There we go. TaToH's going to come out on top over here. He's going to be left on 3 ponds to work with. Should come out on top over here as well, assuming that he does have extra units coming out. And this is kind of risky though. TaToH's not going for any extra navy units over here from the south. Still does have a fire galley on the way, and TaToH's fire galley is very low HP. This is kind of awkward though. TaToH's not really prioritizing navy production from the south pond, where he's got the majority of the fishing ships. 7 out of 11. So he does get cleaned up over here, right? And yeah, okay, there we go. Fire galley's on the way. Right hand side. Nothing from Sitaux. Up in the north, nothing from Sitaux anymore. TaToH's looking fantastic. And it seems as if the players were trying to go for a full map wall. In conjunction. All we need over here is just one extra wall. One extra segment over here. Does TaToH mean tomato in Spanish? Or like, is there an assonance just in English? TaToH, I believe, comes from his name, Roberto. I am not really sure why. I don't think I heard anybody else called Roberto called TaToH. But I think that's probably where it comes from. It's not related to anything that I am aware of. Team Ball and 1v1, right. So now we have the War Galley upgrade. TaToH's gonna take down the Fire Galleys, the remaining units from Sitaux. Sitaux's going for a demolition raft in hopes of getting the fishing ships down. He should know by this point where those are. Then on the right hand side, Sitaux's got the land push going. He's gonna be focusing on land for the most part, and so will TaToH, by the way, but Sitaux's push over here is significantly stronger. If he can place his guards right and survive with the majority of the archers over here, he might still be able to get some damage down. However, TaToH does get a second TC already up. There we go. And down the south, the duck's going down finally, so now it's going to be Sitaux's chance of cleaning the units out from TaToH. On the right hand side, TaToH's for the most part clean the units out from Sitaux, and it seems like the game's stabilizing, and when the game stabilizes, TaToH's left in a much better position. He's got the 2 TCs up and the 3rd TC's already on the way. He's got 3 out of 4 pawns under his control. Sitaux does not seem to be particularly keen on contesting any of the relics at all. Why Nova, Lucas? Well, this is going to get cleaned out, right? So the game stabilizes. We can talk about it a little bit. When I was younger, let's say 13 years old, I used to dream of becoming a graphic designer when I was older. So I created a make-believe company called Nova Inc. And it was a graphic design company. So every time that I would go online and create an account, I would use Nova Inc. as my nickname. So if you find a Nova Inc. online, although do not go out looking for it, it's probably me. And when I created my Twitch account back in like 2017 or something, Probably even before that. I think I created my account when it was just on TV. I used Nova Inc. as well. Long story short, after streaming for like 2-3 years, I think, it was quite clear that I was not going to do anything other than Age of Empires anyway. And Nova Inc. seemed kind of corporate or something, so I decided to change it to Nova AOE. Just remove the ink and add the AOE instead. And yeah, I guess I just adopted the Nova out of Nova AOE, or Nova Inc. rather, because people called me like that when I was streaming under the Nova Inc. nickname, right? But it was never a real life nickname. I've only started using it since I started streaming. Some raids coming up. The doink! He got the doink! Woman. Things under the construction. Yeah, but that is still significantly ahead though. A lot of extra eco units, a lot of extra military units as well. How did TaToH get to this? Nah, it's not too bad. It's not really too much of a problem. TaToH, yeah, sure, it's got to defend against 5 Magnos, but usually when you have a bunch of extra Magnos compared to your opponent, it's going to be harder to make them work really well. And usually it's going to be a little bit easier with a smaller amount of Magnos to control those properly and take your opponents down. We'll see, we'll see. It's all going to depend, of course, on unit control. Yeah, and TaToH does have a very good amount of units himself as well as going 4 now. So you could get the counter rate going. It's amazing how he's able to do this, and these players in general at this level are amazing at going for the counter rates while being under so much pressure. If I were in TaToH's position, I'd be panicking, I'll tell you that much. And I'd be just trying to get rid of these units. Get out of my base. But no, he's actually going to go for the counter rate. He's got 5 Magnos, yes. He's got to be paying attention. He is paying attention. Oh! 1 for 1. Good in control. 2 for 1. Yes. He's trying to keep the Magno up, and Magno's going down. 2 for 2. Now TaToH. TaToH's coming in, taking the villagers down already. 6 crossbows, I believe, in this army. And a bunch of elite skirmishers. It's going right into the expose. Underbelly of Sitaux's economy. This is atrocious! For Sitaux, there's so much exposed economy over here. TaToH's going to realize about it. Can he do anything about that though? He's trying to split this army up, and why is he not targeting the villagers? Now he's going to try and deny as many resources as possible by the looks of it, as opposed to trying to go for the villagers right now. Which is a very interesting approach for sure, and he will end up getting cleaned up over here. There's not going to be no damage at all. It is going to be a few workers going down, right? So that's 1 villager going down. Up in the north, another villager going down over here next to the gold. We could see a couple villagers getting doinked over here if he realizes about the low HP, but he will end up getting cleaned up in the end. However, back home, TaToH was able to, you know, for the most part, hold on. Even if he doesn't end up losing 1 TC, there was only 1 farm around it. And the gold that he was collecting from is not the only gold that he had access to. He's got another one on the right hand side, so he's gonna be fine. And the castle is going for will prevent Sitaux from getting any farther from the left hand side. He's gonna have to try and search for a different angle. That could be a very, very expensive Dal Castle coming up over here from TaToH, and zone Mangonel will suffice for the time being to zone the Mangonels out, but just for a very short period of time, as now Sitaux is splitting 1 Mangonel off his main army, trying to hunt for the remaining Mango over here from TaToH, and then he's got still 4 potentially trying to use to deny the castle. So the Mangonel is coming up over here. Good in control from TaToH. Garrison the villagers at the correct time. Let's bring the camels over, and we don't really have too many units over here for the Mangonels to be protected by. And I did take a lot of HP losses though to the Mango shots earlier, and it seems like 1 Mangonel is going down. Probably not going to be the case. 1? Not even 1. The camel's going down, and all camels get depleted. 1 Mangonel does go down though in the end. But TaToH doesn't have to get in the castle lab. He needs to sort his economy out though. If I were in TaToH's position, I would just scream and run and cry probably. My god, I hate how the micro archers versus Magnos. It is just skirmishers, but still some damage. So much. I had the villager time. A couple of units dead as well. To TaToH's earlier push. Yes, yes. I was going for the 4TC and Sitaux got a good amount of military units. Certainly does have a lead in military compared to TaToH, but it's not going to be strong enough, I think. TaToH's catching up. Hermetica clan, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. I hope you had a great stream and welcome everyone. I hope you enjoyed, guys, the stream. We are casting Sitaux versus TaToH. This is the second to last series of the group stage on TTL, so we are almost on. We're moving on to the playoffs, of course. Stuff from Hermetica. Nice. Love to see it. So last time around I asked, but I don't think I got an answer. Is Hermetica related to the Argentinian music group at all, or what is the origin of Hermetica? In your case, just curious. Thank you. I think it's very much appreciated. And welcome to all the new followers as well. Welcome, you guys. We are international. Yes. All right. Is there a particular origin to the clan name? In any case, very much appreciated. This is just out of curiosity. We are an international group of players, all legends. Love to see that. Mana still left for Sitaux. TaToH, he's got 2. The ratio of manas over here, the mango distribution between the players is definitely nowhere near as right anymore. And the mango shots will connect. Couple of these crossbows do go down quite literally too, but a bunch of these get shredded to very low HP, less than 50% HP total. Was those archers over there, and now TaToH sending some knights forward as well. It's just not going to be skirmishers anymore. It's going to have a much stronger push going, but yeah. I don't think so. It just sounds cool. It does sound cool. Well, if you're not aware of it, there is an Argentinian heavy metal group that's called Hermetica that's actually very famous in Argentina. It's one of those legendary groups, you know, like you have Black Sabbath in the international scene, the UK scene, you know, like Iron Maiden, whatever, and then you have in Argentina, Rata Blanca is one, Hermetica is another one. There are a couple more, but yeah, I thought it would come from there because it's a very peculiar name. But yeah, it does sound cool, I guess. You can come up with something like that anyway, right? Yeah, that's why I was kind of confused. That's why I probably asked the last time around if you guys were streaming in Spanish or English. Regardless though, that TC might go down from TaToH, still has a massive worker lead, twice that worker count for Sitaux right now, for TaToH right now compared to Sitaux rather. You know, and the military lead that Sitaux has is kind of dwindling compared to what it used to be before, especially proportionally speaking. It's not the best. Here comes TaToH. He's got the monks. He's got a Magonel. He's got skirmishers over here. He's going after the Magonels. And he will take all the siege down from TaToH without the Magonels anymore. Now the blue player is going down to 0 siege weapons. He's got 2 more queued up. But here comes the mango from TaToH. Conversions. The push over here is going to be enough for TaToH to prompt the GG out of Sitaux to get the lead in the series over here 1-0. TaToH's looking good. Let's go and check the achievements before taking a look at the standings, the civilizations, before jumping into game number 2. So we have a better KD for TaToH, albeit very briefly. For economy, we have a stronger economy for TaToH as well, about 12,000 extra resources, a much higher worker count, of course. And let's go back, update the draft. Perfect. Welcome everyone then to game number 2 in the series. Sitaux playing with the Berbers, TaToH playing with the Gujaras. We're gonna have for the blue player down the south, Sitaux, the Berbers, 10% faster moving villagers. He gets 15 and 20% cheaper stable unit production in the Castle and Imperial Ages. Besides that, for the team bonus, Berbers will get access to Genitors while up in the north. TaToH on his Acropolis will be making use of Gujaras. They will begin with 2 additional berry bushes underneath the TC. They will have the ability to garrison herdables inside the mills to passively get full income. And then on top of that, we also have for the Gujaras 20, 30, and 40% higher bonus damage from camel rider units against enemy units. And finally, for the team bonus, camel and elephant type units for the Gujaras, they get trained faster, 25% faster. Running the opponent, well, here's in my base with 5 manuals. Would have never even thought of that at my skill level. I know, it's just ridiculously good. The TaToH in the previous game, and I know that I probably, to be fair, I probably would have died to the 5 manuals, but at the very least I would have tried to defend against those as opposed to going for a counter rate that is just bonkers to me, that he can manage to do both things at the same time, defend and also attack. And defend against so much pressure, right? 4 freaking manuals. 5, I don't know how many it was anymore. Let's take a look at the map generation, starting with Sitaux down the south. We're gonna have both the goals on the left-hand side for him. We're gonna have both the stones on the right-hand side towards the south for him as well. And then he's already gonna start collecting wood from this wood line. This is something that happens sometimes with Acropolis. That one player is going to spawn with a backwood and the other player is not going to. But it seems like this time around, actually, both players have some backwood, right? Let me take a look at here. I mean, technically, right? Can you actually build a lumber camp though? That's the question. I don't think you have enough space. I don't think you have enough space to build a lumber camp over here. Well, over here would not only have wood, but we have gold as well. That's beautiful. For Mr. TaToH. I see somebody has gotten help from the Viper. TaToH seems to have the same map hacks installed. In the right corner, he should have just enough for the lumber camp. I think so, right? Yeah. That might actually be the case. Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of, a little bit of space over there, but that would be a less than ideal lumber camp, probably over here instead. Actually, let's try and this. Let's see. Yeah, we have enough over here. I think we might have enough over here. Yeah, he does have enough space over here, so he can definitely take advantage of this. It's fine. VLH on the way for both these guys. Does TaToH know about the back resources though? That's the question, because he's collecting from the front one. He doesn't know about it, and Sitaux, I would imagine he probably doesn't know about it either. Yeah, he doesn't know. Like, he's gotta know the Acropolis does go down into the valley over here again, but he has not taken the time to scout. TaToH still so thin in the middle, it feels weird. We'll then take a look at the map generation for TaToH though. Let's take a look at this. We have 2 golds on the left-hand side. We have 1 stone on the left-hand side. Over here down south, we're gonna have another stone. Berries are on the right-hand side. It's gonna be fine. It feels to me like the resources are probably a little bit more exposed for Sitaux. I wouldn't really be too sure about it, mostly because TaToH... No, I guess it's probably kind of comparable. It's just that he's got both stones on the same side and Sitaux's got 1 and 1. Oh, TaToH's got 1 and 1, sorry. So it's a little bit harder, right, to deny all of the stone. Meanwhile, it's going to be just as hard for both these players to deny the same, or all the gold from each other. Did I do it? Yes, yes you did. With the power of love. Anyway, stable up already for Sitaux. We are expecting to see a scout play from the Berbers. They are going to want to play for cavalry so that they can go for units and upgrades that will scale pretty nicely into the castle age, where he's going to get the discount on stable production. TaToH, on the other hand, TaToH's going for scouts himself as well, and this is something that also the Gujaras can do, as they do get access to 3 martial riders in the castle age. And also camels with extra bonus damage as well can be really good. Right. Game's pretty stable for the time being, but here comes TaToH looking for trouble. Can he get a villager? There's a spearman over there, so he's gotta be aware of it. He's gotta be cautious. I'll try to keep on roaming around. There we go. Sitaux is able to, for the most part, fend off the units from TaToH. I mean, they are still here. He's just not been able to get any damage done yet. Sitaux's got the defender units. Yeah, and he's very close to the TC over here with the rest of his economy, so it's gonna be fine. So long as Sitaux is paying some level of attention over here, he should be able to prevent taking any losses, right? And he will. Meanwhile, up in the north, it's going to be Sitaux, the one to go forward. And TaToH's already gotten the walls up around the wood line. Yeah, and it seems like no one will be able to get any damage done over here for the most part. Yeah, Sitaux isn't able to get a single village down. TaToH brought his 4 units back, so he won't be able to get any villagers down either. Notice that he does not stop producing units though. TaToH, usually in a position like this, would opt to just save the resource and go up to the castle age. Right now he's actually going to try to continue putting pressure in the fuel age, and Sitaux's not going to be the one to fall behind in production, right, to save the resource to go up. He's going to continue going for scouts as well. It's very interesting to see. Nobody's been able to get any damage done still. Kind of like the Cold War, right? Both these guys arming up, and you don't see an actual fight over here, but they just don't want to be left behind. Yeah, and TaToH's going for yet another scout. It's gonna be 9 for him. It's gonna be 9 for Sitaux. 6 spearmen for both these guys. They are just mirroring each other. Here comes Sitaux. And TaToH is going to go and try and counter raid. One under pressure from 9 scouts over here, the same way that we saw him try and go for the counter raid when he was under pressure last time around. It is risky though. It is not something that you just gotta be able to keep up with, but it's also risky. Like if you don't pay attention to your economy at the right time, you can very, very well end up taking so many losses. And there was a little bit of a hole over there that Sitaux realized about just in time. And up in the north, doesn't seem like Sitaux will be able to do much of anything against TaToH. TaToH's keeping a good track of where these scouts are at all times. And the only thing that Sitaux might be able to do over here, notice that he was trying to split his army out to see if TaToH was maybe chasing both these instead. But TaToH's not targeting the units, he's just manually moving the spearmen over there. That would have been really good if Sitaux actually would have been able to kind of bait the spearmen with one group scouts and then take on the villagers with the other. But in the end, TaToH knew knew to do better than that. TaToH overchop. He's been kind of close to overchopping for a very long time, but these are still fellow trees, so it's not going to be the case. And he's also very wary of this as well. Notice that he pulled villagers away from some of these. He's got to pay attention. Probably is. See a little bit of an engagement over here, down south. Yes, sir. One villager snipe.
Azul.
It's gonna try to go for another one. The spearmen are here. It's gonna try and take the mining camp down. Meanwhile, still, so it's gonna try to go for the villager snipe, and I think he might be able to get away with it. The spearmen from TaToH. They're coming in right now. Still's gotta be careful. Yeah, and TaToH's gonna continue trying to find extra villagers to snipe. Meanwhile, Sitaux got so close. I think a couple of the villagers over here are kind of weak. Yeah, the women, rather. Castle Age is on the way for both these guys. Close to the same time as well. It's going to be TaToH, though, the one to beat Sitaux by a little bit. The villager got to half HP, but survived. TaToH gonna continue doing any damage over there. Yeah, and it seems like Sitaux actually ended up getting completely wiped out over here. Don't see a single villager. It's just a spearman. The spearman going down from both these guys. Still 1-0 Ikokiri is unbelievable. But TaToH's going after the villager. That was so close though. He got a good surround going, but would have ended up losing a bunch of those scouts if he tried to commit to the villager. Or at the very least, a good chunk of HP off these scouts. Yeah, now he's gonna try and reduce the spearman, right? Well, it will still result in a few losses for him, and now he's gonna try to take the rest of the spearmen down. He's got scale bar the number coming up, but taking the engagement before that anyway. Bloodlines on the way, but still taking the engagement before the upgrade comes in.
Yes.
Oh, what happened here? Wait, do you have 2 scouts on my lumber camp trapped? And Sitaux says yes. Let's actually go back over here. Oh yeah. There you go. Check this out. Do you have 2 scouts on my lumber camp trapped? And Sitaux says yes. TaToH says, Sitaux says annoying, and TaToH says I'll delete it so you can have them, but don't go in. Sitaux says okay, I'll run them. TaToH, being the good sportsman, gives the units back to Sitaux that were lost to a game bug. How about that? What a beautiful soul. So Castle Age is here for both these guys, right? And we have the second TC coming out for TaToH. How did that happen? I'm confused. I'm just going to place a marker and then we'll take a look at it afterwards, alright? Do remind me of it after the game is over so I don't continue just going back and forth, but because this one, to see how it happened, is going to require scrubbing back a few times and trying to spot the exact moment, but sometimes it happens, and you will see this also with like Navy units that sometimes get kind of stuck ashore. where they are moving in one direction, and I don't know how. Sometimes they end up stepping into a building or into a type of terrain that they shouldn't get access to. You will also see that happen with land units that sometimes step on the water and then they get stuck. Yeah, it's just a bug, but we can take a look at it for sure. The exact moment it happened when the game is over. Just remind me of it because I might actually forget. I'm still in early access. It has been out just for 40 years. Monk's going out for TaToH already. Taking a look at Sitaux. Sitaux, I don't see a monastery for him. It's just going to be triple stable for production. Very similar to what we saw from MBL in the previous series as well. Just gonna try and commit to it. And he's going for camels pretty heavily in TaToH. That does not have anywhere near as many units compared to Sitaux, of course. But he's just trying to make a play for monks. He's got 2 monasteries even. He's not really going for too many monks though. Village should be going down. TaToH's already lost 1 before. That's gonna be the 2nd village going down. Yes, sir. Left hand side. There's CC should be completed anytime soon. It's unlikely that Sitaux will be able to do much of anything about it. So that's gonna be 3 TCs for TaToH. And it's very reminiscent of game number 1 as well, when Sitaux was the one going for 1 TC full push. But now he does have a 2nd TC on the way though, so Sitaux is not committing quite as heavily this time around. That will still start getting ahead in village count. So long as he can keep all 3 TCs running, he's going to start getting significantly ahead. He does have double the camels, but I like TaToH's play more. It's what we saw in the previous one, right? TaToH's really, really good at keeping his cool under pressure. Definitely a skill not everyone's going to have under the belt. Yeah, and Sitaux. I end up pushing some villagers down over here, right? 3 villagers go down over there for TaToH, but yeah, TaToH's also getting some damage done himself. Check this out. He's denying the TC from Sitaux. Well done. And the game is still favoring the Spaniard. Very much so. Even if Sitaux's got twice the camel count, TaToH's been able to hold on. He's been able to go for just as many villagers' knives as Sitaux's been able to get so far. And it's not going to be the end of it, right? It's going to continue putting pressure over here, despite the fact that Sitaux's got more units, actually. TaToH's going to continue trying to get damage done. Nothing like that with the camels, are you sure? With 1 armor upgrade only? Yeah, even with 2, camels are not really the unit you want to camp underneath the TC with. But in the end, doesn't make too much of a difference, I guess. If they were nice at TC with a gun down? Yeah, probably. Probably. Sitaux is just respecting the higher bonus damage that the Gujarat's camels get over here, so he's going for his own camels for TC on the way for TaToH. And yeah, if he had gone for knights, obviously TaToH might have been able to clean those up by now, I would assume, right? With the amount of camels he's gone for. So there aren't really too many options for Sitaux in terms of army composition over here. Except maybe for adding some counter units, maybe some pikemen, maybe some monks. But TaToH's done a really good job so far defending himself. He's got the monks. He does end up getting away with a conversion though. The monks going to walk away. It seems like all 3 conversions are going to connect. 2 out of 3 at the very least have connected, and that's going to be probably all 4. All 4 conversions connect for TaToH. He does end up losing the monks. Should still be able to clean this up though. How many camels do we have left? 8 camels won't do much of anything, Sitaux, with that anymore. TaToH's fine. There we go. Camel archers eat camels now, but yeah, TaToH does have the thing that eats archers. Camel archers eat camels. Camel archers, they are very good. Once you mess them up, they are going to be a little bit stronger compared to standard cavalry archers. So they will take the camels down for sure. Sitaux is not really thinking of that right now. And TaToH does have the Shrivansha Riders, which wouldn't really care for the camel archers too much themselves, so that is why Sitaux is not really thinking of that for the time being. Beautiful defense for TaToH, through and through. He is hit quite heavily in terms of worker efficiency, you can see in the last minute. Sitaux's actually been collecting more resources compared to TaToH. But throughout the game, it's been very similar for both these guys. It's very interesting to see because TaToH ended up collecting about the same amount of resources as Sitaux has, for the most part. But the way that they have gone about spending those resources has varied significantly, right? Sitaux's been trying to prioritize military production, and TaToH's been trying to prioritize villager production. Now the villager production is going to eventually pay off for TaToH, so long as the game keeps on going longer and he's able to survive. And Sitaux's extra military count, yeah, once again, if these were knights, he probably would have been able to take care of those TCs, but couldn't do it because of the camels from the Gujara, so he was forced into camels. That's a lot of resources he spent into units that really, he hasn't been able to get too much damage done with, right? He's got only 5 extra villager kills compared to what TaToH's gotten so far. TaToH's still ahead by about 20 workers. Close to a 30% worker lead for the Spaniard. Yeah, Siege is coming over here. TaToH's gonna find himself once again on the back foot against the Siege weapons. He's not going for the second one though, so we cannot expect like 4 or 5 Magnos anytime soon. But yeah, TaToH's done a really good job defending himself while going for some military, while getting significantly ahead in worker count. Let's see finally on the way for Sitaux. And redemption's coming in for TaToH, yes. There's a good amount of monks actually coming in for Sitaux. But we see the monks getting the conversions over there on the right-hand side. TaToH's going to get away with one of the conversions. The monks will go down without a second conversion. And then on the left-hand side, oh, the converted Mangonel takes the monks down. We have to rewind for this because take a look at this beautiful play. Sitaux's pressure over here, building up against TaToH. TaToH gets the Mangonel converted. And check this out, from the heel, bow! 4 Magonels, actually 5 monks down to a single mana shot. That's going to be 4, is it going to be 5? I think it's going to be 5, well done. Yeah, I can see 5 Bibles sinking into the ground. 500 resources down the drain for Sitaux without taking into account the Mangonel even. Big oof. NBL that to the Death era on a game on the ladder and here insta GG. It's gotta be frustrating, of course, in the tournament game you want to keep on trying, right? But that was really well played from TaToH, although he is still behind the military count. It's not going to be anywhere near as much of a lead for Sitaux anymore, and while Sitaux is behind in worker count compared to TaToH, it's not going to be anywhere near as much of a lead for TaToH as it used to be in the past, like proportionally speaking. It used to be a 30% worker lead actually for TaToH, now it's gone down significantly. TaToH's defensive cast is on the way. Sitaux's here. We see the conversions coming up. It can be up to 4 conversions if TaToH plays his cards right. He's going to end up getting 3 conversions with 4 monks though. Maybe not the most efficient use of the units, but he'll still end up getting the majority of the conversions. Got the heal advantage over there. It's got 20, 30% actually now in the castle age. Higher bonus damage from mounted units, but it seems like Sitaux's numbers are going to trump the stronger stats from TaToH's units. And yes, sir, it's these blue players coming out on top over here. TaToH forced into the TC. The castle does not come up, and Sitaux's still gonna be left. About 13 camels. He can reset the HP of those guys with the monks as well, and TaToH's forced back into the Acropolis. And well, he has been able to defend really well for the most part so far. Now it seems like this might be the moment in which the stronger military from Sitaux allows him to catch up for economy. Not quite. TaToH gets the castle up, brings the villagers over. He's gonna try and take the rams down. Sorry, not even trebuchets, and he's going to keep the castle up by the looks of things. Sitaux gets very close to catching up in worker count. TaToH is only at a 5 worker lead. And the military count is also going to be at a 5 delta in favor of Sitaux. And the castle stays up. Beautiful. Pop monks in into the TC, popped out, convert to 4 manas to wipe out the entire push. Is that the game that you were talking about? Right. It's the 5,000 bonus. Let's go, Teo. Yes. That play alone was 1,000 resources down the drain, and 800-ish of that was gold. One entire pile of gold, yes, and you cannot really get too many of those engagements in the game, right? Eventually, you're gonna have to start transitioning into trash units. Population? Dead even, guys. Come on. Come on. 3 extra military units for Sitaux. 5 extra eco units for TaToH. Neck and neck. Fantastic. Yeah, TaToH's starting to get the rates going, right? The counter rates once again. His Gatcha is on the way. This will reduce the food cost of military units by 25% for TaToH. Got cleaned up. Sitaux is just trying to mass the camels back home, and see chakram throwers coming in though. Okay, interesting. TC has gone down for Sitaux. TaToH is going for chakram throwers. He's going for Sri Vamsha riders. No camels though. I don't think the chakram throwers are going to work out over here. Let's see. He's trying to make a play for monks instead once again. And the monks are getting surrounded. The conversions are coming up as well, but I don't think it's going to be all the conversions that will connect us in the end. All the monks go down. I think that was probably 2 conversions only, right? To 6 monks? Maybe 3 conversions perhaps, but yeah, chakram are definitely not enough. He's going for iron casting right now. He needs to get as many attack upgrades as he can, as the base damage from the chakram is negligible. 3 base attack. TaToH's not paying attention up in the north. The camel's taken 2 villages down so far. Yep, he's going to continue to do so. And both these players are struggling to keep up. You know, I say that, struggling to keep up, because like there's the same amount of idle villagers for both these players, or at the very least it was the case when I said that. But there's just so much taking place that it's amazing that they are able to keep up with the things that they are able to. This reminds me of the 2001 Microsoft International Invitational Tournament for Age of Empires. That was the largest Age of Empires 2 tournament in history for a very long time, until we had, I think, Rebel Wall Legacy, if I'm not mistaken. It was amazing to see the progression the players, the pro players, the top players in the world have made between then and now. Because back then in 2001, the game had been out for only a year and a half or so. There's like in the eco upgrades. Yes. Hit point. Going for wheelbarrow only now. For the most part in the game, he was able to compensate for that. You know, from the fact that he had extra workers. That is no longer the case quite as much. I mean, he does have 12 extra workers, right? But it does mean able to catch up pretty nicely. Yeah, and TaToH still has a little bit of extra gather economy time. But yeah, back in the day in 2001, and I do need to upload this to YouTube at some point. I think I'm probably going to do that after TTL. We did provide coverage for the 2001 tournament, not live, obviously, but just a couple of years ago. And it's just amazing. The guys look like they would probably get destroyed by 1,400 players these days. Like, they were nowhere near as effective as players nowadays. That's just amazing to see a game this old evolve so freaking much. And Sitau's coming in with a lot of camels. We have some check-on throwers over here. Doesn't seem to me like it's going to be enough. These, besides having pretty low base attack, they are going to have pretty low HP as well. They do stack pretty well though, so he was able to fit them within a single tile, and Sitaux was pushed away from here. And down the south, the Shrivansha Riders are coming in. That's a lot of villagers underneath the TC, completely exposed in the Shrivanshas. They will now get in a bunch of villagers down over here. Now TaToH. TaToH's the first and only player to click out to the Imperial H so far this game. How does he manage to get his economy going while defending, while attacking at the same time, while being behind the worker count, or actually not in worker count, in eco upgrades, is just mind-boggling. Sitaux on the other hand, Sitau's gonna continue trying to put the pressure up right now. Now he's making a transition from camels to knights. As TaToH was making a play for Shrivansha Riders for the most part, and Sitaux did not have a need for camels anymore, but now TaToH's going for camels, and Sitau's knights shouldn't really work on paper. The engagement, the check-on throwers do provide some support from behind. Today, as with archers in my opponent's base, I was so happy doing a lot of damage. I returned to my base and see basically no villagers because the initials kept killing them all. It happens. It happens. AoE is a phenomenon in every sense of the word. It is. If he wants to go for economical superiority, yeah, there we go. You call it, guys. Imp into GG. I haven't gotten to that comment yet, but yes, that's going to be the case, Silver Arrow. TaToH gets game number 2 after such a back and forth throughout this game. The power tug is going to result in the Spaniard getting the second game in a row over here to take the series no matter what, but game number 3 is still going to be up for grabs. I don't think this changes too much. I think if TaToH even loses game number 3, he's already going to guarantee his position. I think Sitaux losing or winning game number 3 is going to probably have an impact on the standings for the next series probably. Let's actually go back and take a look at that after taking a look at the achievements first. Better KD for TaToH, yes. For economy, we have a stronger economy for TaToH as well. For society, stronger villager max count for TaToH as well. Well done. Let's just go back. Oh, the bug. Thank you. Yes, you saw the marker over here. Good catch. So where's the scouts are here, right? Let's go back 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Okay, let's see. Check this out. This is what happens. Yep. I think it was probably a matter of the formations taking more space than the game was able to calculate for at that point, or something like that. I'm not really sure if there is a straightforward fix for something like this. I would imagine probably not, otherwise it would have been implemented already. But that's it. The rest of the group kind of pushed the scouts into getting stuck. He didn't lose 100 wood. He was already building a new camp. It gave him the free opportunity to build a house in place the lumber camp. Right. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, house, potentially even 2 palaces would have been enough, right? All right. So for those of you watching on YouTube, we just took a look at the standings and the probabilities of finishing in X or Y position for both these guys. And TaToH is pretty much guaranteed third spot. If he wins game number 3, he is guaranteed third spot. But if he loses game number 3, the only way in which Sitaux goes up to the third spot is by getting a clean sweep in the final series that we have left after this one, which is against Bars, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Still trying to do some quick maths over here, just asking TaToH. You played everyone except me, right? And TaToH says yes. It says okay. Probably doing some quick maths over here. But anyway, I believe Sitaux is going to stay in 4th spot if he loses this one. There might be the chance for him to finish 5th. Let me take a look. So I'm taking a look at the stats right now. And yes, it is possible for Sitaux still to finish 5th. As a matter of fact, there are chances for him to finish 5th even if he wins this game. If he wins this game and then Bars takes the series against Sitaux, it doesn't matter that Sitaux got this game. It doesn't matter that Sitaux gets another point from the final series. Bars would actually be the one in 4th place, right? But that's something we're gonna have to leave for the next series. Hey, on the squirrel. Is it the first house? And no, it's Paul's. Yeah. yeah. All right. So what do we get for the civilizations? Indeed, it's going to be Poles on the left-hand side for the red player, TaToH. Meanwhile, towards the southeast, it's going to be Sitaux playing with the Turks. So, for these civs, and starting with Sitaux, we're going to see first off that he gets, oops, sorry about that, 25% faster working gold miners, 25% higher HP on gunpowder units. He has also free chemistry as well as a 50% discount on gunpowder upgrades. The Like Already and Hazard upgrades will come in for free for the Turks in addition to 1 extra Pierce armor on those units. And for the team bonus will make their gunpowder units train 25% faster. TaToH, on the other hand, playing with the Poles, will get instead access to Folwark, which is why he's going for the house over here. He doesn't care about surrounding the TC with farms, he wants to surround the Folwarks. Besides that, we also see for Poles villages that collect 33% gold from stone mines. It's gonna have 5, 10, 15, and 20 HP regeneration on villagers per minute in the Dr.V Castle and Imperial Ages. And for the team bonus, their Scotland units, they get 1 bonus damage against archer units, similarly to how the Persians will get 2 bonus damage from knights against archers, but in a little bit of a weaker fashion, so to say. I miss a time when Step Lancers were just released and they were virtually unstoppable. What do you feel about the Mangodai being virtually unstoppable back in the day? Being so freaking broken. What a strong civilization, man. This game remained unbalanced for such a long time. It's ridiculous. Like, there were only a viable, a handful of viable matchups, right? You would either play Mongols and be absolutely broken, or you would play Han Wars, or you would play Mayans or Aztecs, or Mans versus Aztecs, or versus Mayans, or Mayans versus Aztecs, and those were like the 4 top civilizations everybody would play. And the Persians, well, yeah, were not really used that much. The Franks were very strong though. Yeah, the Franks were still very good. And back in the day, there were some civilizations that were much better in arena, right? Like Teutons as well. But yeah, it's good to see that right now Age of Empires 2 is probably the most balanced that it's been. TaToH from TaToH. Well, he is going up on 22 population. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a fast castle. If he wanted to TaToH, he probably would have gone up on like 18 or 19 population probably. He would have been a little bit more aggressive about it. Still, by the way, did spot an opening on the back of TaToH's base. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to take advantage of this, though. Let's see. TaToH's open. Yes. He's Still gotta be careful not to give this away. Me on the back. Starts trying to get the villager. And notice he was trying to go back towards the hill. Oh, there's no loop! There's no loop for Sitaux! And you know what? If TaToH, he plays this card right, he gets the villager. That's gonna be first kill. And if you're in Sitaux's position, you have already lost 2 games. You lose the first villager over here. Oh boy. That whole could ruin all his follower economy if he doesn't plug it. Potentially we'll see if he does realize about it in the future or not. So it's not a straight fast castle for TaToH. It's not going to be a trash either. Goes up to the fuel age and will go up to the castle age eventually as well. It's just not going to be a straight fast castle. Should be able to go up at about the same time as Sitaux, a little bit later probably. TaToH, but yeah, Sitaux is going up himself. Being forced into Loom where you're trying to fast castle is kind of rough for Sitaux, not gonna lie. I would have thrown my keyword into the wall at that point. I'm realizing a bunch of things about you today, Luca. We're getting acquainted a little bit more. We're getting to know each other. Now you know what my name is. That's pretty intimate stuff. You know my age. You know, if somebody took the time to go through all the Lucas that were born at the correct time to be my current age right now, you might be able to actually find me. That'd be quite the stalker endeavor though. That is so close. Still almost gets away with the same thing that TaToH went for. Still no loom for TaToH and the villager. The villager is gonna be fine, of course. In 4 minutes, just gonna be completely topped up. No! Now Sitaux gave away the hole, and TaToH knows. TaToH knows, and he's going to send the villager eventually and patch that up. That could have been good for Sitaux. Now it's no longer going to be a possibility. And TaToH? Yeah, TaToH's going for scouts. And Sitaux says the region saved it, right? Yeah, actually that is a very good question. TaToH says yes. Let's take a look at this. If the villager would have gone down if it weren't because of the regeneration. That's interesting. Alright, so we see... Okay, let's take a look. It's this woman. Yeah. Regen saved her. It should have been 5 hits. It should have been 5 hits and she regenerated. Just enough to survive over there. Let's find the Luca in Argentina that had no design agency. That's never really become more than a dream. You know, however, I do have to say though that I did do graphic design work for money, at the very least a couple occasions during my life. I am not a fully fledged dedicated graphic designer, but I know a thing or two, and I guess that would technically, you know, put me as a professional graphic designer. I've taken money for it, right? Isn't that the definition? The definition for it? Yes. I can be called a professional caster, a professional graphic designer, a professional video editor, I guess. That was going back, and Sitaux. Sitaux's going up to the castle age significantly earlier compared to TaToH. It was not quite as close as I thought it was going to be. If it weren't because of the scouts that TaToH's been producing, maybe he would have been able to go up significantly earlier, right? That's going to be 6 scouts coming in at 480 food. Well, only 5 he had to pay for, so more like 400. But yeah, he probably would have been able to go up significantly faster if it weren't because of it. Nova Inc. calling one. Yeah. Indeed. I'm also a professional producer, I guess, now, because of the part-time job. Castle is just gonna be here for TaToH in a moment. Only 90 seconds left. He does have more scouts though. But these are light cavalry from Sitaux. In the end, TaToH's numbers are going to trump the better stats from Sitaux's units. His numbers usually always do come out on top, especially when there is this much of a discrepancy between both these armies. But still getting away with some of the relics though. He's collected the first relic. And there's something we did not really take a look at too much, was the map generation for both these guys. Just glancing at Sitaux's map generation, it seems alright. I think TaToH probably knows about the stone. He doesn't know about the stone, so I think Sitaux's map generation is alright. And we take a look at TaToH's map generation. He's collecting stones, so he's gonna be the one to go for aggression, right? But yeah, let me take a look at Sitaux's point of view. Yeah, he knows where the gold is, but there's nothing over here to expose from TaToH, so it seems like he's gonna be fine as well. Map generation is alright for both these guys. Just for me to know, I could one day need somebody to design the graphics of a video game that I develop. Would you be able to do it? If by graphics you mean like the UI and stuff, the main menu, that kind of stuff, yes. But I am not an illustrator, so I wouldn't be able to make sprites, for instance. I do design stuff in 3D though. I do 3D modeling, so I could potentially make assets for levels and stuff for sure. But 2D, if I had to like draw sprites, no, not a chance. Like everybody's coming out for TaToH right now, trying to catch up. Meanwhile, Sitaux has already collected the second relic on the right hand side. There are 3 relics still up for grabs. 2 of these technically favoring TaToH, at the very least closer to his base. 3 years from now, you'll be contacted? Okay. I'll mark the calendar for sure. Beautiful. Sitaux's actually pushing TaToH around. Military count's about the same for both these guys. HP pull. Okay, we're still a little bit. We do have a few elevations around the map, but it's not going to be enough for anybody to really get much of a lead. And now TaToH gets a monk down. Has not losing though. 2 scouts, but he does manage to get 2 scouts down himself, and it's going to be overall better for TaToH. He got 2 scouts and the monk versus losing 2 scouts only, and now this is going to be the same military count, right? Yeah, it's the same. Sitaux's looking a little bit better. He's got a higher HP pull. He was able to regenerate the HP of many of these scouts, and he's bringing in 2 additional relics. That's going to put him up to 4. By the looks of it, he'll probably be the one to collect the 5th relic over here at the center as well. So TaToH, from this position, probably wants to try and make a play for the side relics instead. But yeah, he's got the monks already on the way, right? So he's got 1 coming out, and where's that monk going to go? Oh, the monk's going to collect the farthest relic. Yes. I hate doing graphics. Well, fortunately for you, I love to do it. It seems like a match made in heaven. What kind of development do you do, by the way? What language do you use? What is the platform you develop for? Programming is also something that I am interested in, but I have very slowly been progressing with. I'm yet to do my first real project, which is going to be for the stream, by the way. But yeah. Still, a little bit better for Sitaux and HP pull over here. There's a lot of villagers moving on from Sitaux. Has been collecting the stone to go for a castle on TaToH. We saw TaToH was going for stone himself a while ago as well, so should be able to go for a counter castle too. But this one is coming out from Sitaux no matter what. And TaToH is going for the counter castle himself. In the end, the units from the red player do end up getting cleaned up for the most part. Still have all the villagers left over here for Sitaux to work with. It's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age very soon. And TaToH will, once again, if he does end up taking game number 3, he secures the 3rd spot. If he doesn't, then there is a chance for Sitaux to knock TaToH out of the playoffs. Beautiful. Computer engineer in the making right now. C++, you might want to go to the TaToH website and take a look at the open positions, by the way. They are currently looking for C++ developers, although they were looking for senior C++ developers. That might be... I don't know. You be the judge. And by the way, anybody watching the video right now, if you are a developer and are experienced with C++, would like to work on exciting stuff, do go and take a look at the TaToH website. So far, so good. Sitau's not really been able to get too much damage done over here. I can use a sandwich too. Ah, that is just showing off now. Sounds awesome. Scale bar than armor on the way for Mr. TaToH right now. Beautiful. Beautiful. He does get a better trade on the left hand side though, taking a bunch of scouts down from Sitaux. Despite the fact that he was only going for some of the missing upgrades right now, he did have iron casting since earlier, so the scouts were no joke, of course. And in the end, TaToH's going to end up getting a nice cleanup over there. Regardless though, there's a second castle on the way for Sitaux. He's got the Imperial Age finishing researching right now, so we're gonna see trebuchets come out. He could have tried to go for a siege workshop and go for bombard cannons right away. Instead, the second castle will allow him to double his trebuchet production. Beautiful. Castle comes out for Sitaux. Camel. Heavy camel on the way for the bull player as well. And he does fall behind in worker count for the third time in a row. TaToH is just playing for economy over here, being kind of greedy. And Sitaux is going to be the one to try and knock TaToH off his... Could you say eco pedestal? I don't think that'll make sense, right? But yeah, it's just trying to prevent TaToH from getting too far ahead. There's a 6-2C coming up for TaToH right now, and Sitaux should be able to get the castle down over here. TaToH probably doesn't care about the castle too much. With the poles, he only care about the castle for the possibility of lack the privileges, potentially even hit a legacy, which TaToH, obviously because of being in the castle, still cannot go for. But the castle does crumble. And TaToH's just going for like carry. I don't think he got lack the privileges at all. It's gonna be enough pressure to finally kill TaToH. We'll see. Sitaux needs it if he wants to move on to the playoffs. Sorry, he needs to take this one, and he needs to get a clean sweep in the next one. Time is certainly favoring the Frenchman and TaToH. One thing that he is doing that I do appreciate though is he's trying to expand his economy over to the side. So if he ends up getting pushed away from the center, he will still have the opportunity to continue harvesting resources around the map until he gets to a position where he is going to be able to start going for military. Now, of course, what can we see from poles out? Though that's going to counter the Turks. Turks get fantastic camels. They get fantastic cavalry archers as well. So they get range units, melee units, right? And TaToH's gonna have the option to make a play for Oburg, which won't do anything against cavalry archers, or potentially even hand cannoneer or janissaries. So wouldn't be enough in and of itself. And then he can make a play for knights, but knights against camels. And we have already heavy camel over here with chain bar the armor about to finish researching and play bar the armor on the way. So wouldn't be good either. And TaToH seems to be kind of run out of options, right? I mean, he can go for arbalesters. but it doesn't seem to me like it's going to be good enough. Sitaux's civilization is going to provide them with extra pierce armor on Hussar, so that's going to be a fantastic meat shield compared to camels or potentially even cavalry archers, obviously. And yeah, I just don't see what it is that TaToH can go for that's going to counter everything that Sitaux is going for, because honestly, the army composition for the blue player is looking very mighty strong right now. Dirt Chip Cavalier still appealing-ish in a way. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to go for just Cavalier against camels when both players get to like 200 population, but if he manages to get a significantly larger amount of Cavalier compared to the amount of camels and Janissaries that Sitaux's got to play with right now, he might be able to offset for the military lead. He might be able to suppress Sitaux before he's able to get to too many units. Now that's a very nice raid coming in from TaToH. He didn't manage to come in. Yes, with the light cavalry, he was able to get a bunch of villagers. In the end, will end up getting cleaned up. And Sitaux's push over here is looking so much stronger, though. TaToH was able to come in with a few light cavalry. Those were not even Hussar. And Sitaux's getting castles down. He's taking TCs down. He's got dozens of camels to work with. Is that the case? Maybe you overestimated the army count right now for Sitaux, but he does have tens of camels technically. He's got play brother armor coming up, and it's gonna be so good for the blue players. Got bombard cannons on the way. Does not have artillery though, so it's gonna be the same as TaToH's bombard cannon. It might be enough to keep his trebuchet alive though. Close. Good shot. Yeah, the trebuchet does go down. Okay. And once again, interestingly enough, because TaToH has kind of split his economy into the right and the left-hand side, so he can potentially continue going for villagers over here and survive even if he gets raided on the left-hand side, right? So let's say his left arm gets cut off over here out of his base. Still have the right one. That's pressure from Sitaux though. Trebuchets will go down, however, that is not ideal. But he will take the relics! The relic heist! Yes, sir! There are 2 relics left for TaToH somewhere, but Sitaux is going to collect the 6th and 7th ones. This will put him in a much better position once the goal starts running low in the map. TaToH, though, once again, he just continues roaming around the map with extra TCs, rebuilding himself. Being reborn like a phoenix. Sitaux's push over here is kind of dwindling, right? His population is not the highest, mind you. Sitaux is struggling still. And the cat's coming up on the right-hand side. And TaToH is just fine. He's gonna be so much stronger right now. With 50 extra workers, 47. Yes. Bar cannons are so fragile in ratio to Sitaux's economy. They are, and the one thing that he could go for that's going to make this significantly stronger for him is also extremely expensive, the artillery upgrade. And TaToH might end up just getting a clean sweep over here. Once again, if he does, he guarantees his 3rd spot. Here come the camels from Sitaux. This might result in a good surround though. This could be really good. If the camels get a proper surround, and notice that Sitaux's trying his darnest to get the surround going over here, but if this does result in a proper surround, then the Arbalistas could potentially be a lot more susceptible to the bombard cannons. And notice how TaToH had the possibility of staying in the choke point over there, but he realizes the danger. behind, keeping his units clumped up against the bombard cannons, obviously. So here comes Sitaux once again. It's gonna be in this time around, past the walls, preventing the bombard cannons from TaToH from sniping his own. So that castle should be going down very soon. At the very least, that should be the case. We'll see though, because these camels, they are going down to 0 as TaToH is able to defend, is able to survive with a scary amount of arbalisters still. He will take the Hussar. Potentially try and go after the arbalisters over here, and he is definitely going to make the play for it. He's still leading the gates. He's coming in. He's got winged Hussar. 2 bombard cannons have gone down already. It's not going to be the end of it, as we have still 4 left over here. For Sitaux, it seems like the Hussar will get a good surround going, and that's going to be another bombard cannon. That's going to be another bombard cannon, and that's going to be another bombard cannon, and another one going down. In the next few moments, TaToH has not only been able to stabilize himself, but check this out. He has put himself up in every single metric that we care for up in the north over here, up above. Military count, higher for TaToH. Worker count, higher for TaToH. Military value, higher for TaToH. And not even close. Still, it's gotta be hurting over here. TaToH actually managed to get a sneaky villager on the right hand side. It's collecting. Actually, he's going to start going for some stables. Yes. KD, not better for TaToH, no. Just the bars up in the north. Yeah, population still Oh, KD, it is better for TaToH. Yes, Eco KD is not better for TaToH. But yeah, you're actually correct. KD is better. Population's better for him as well. And the bombard cannons are coming out. TaToH is regaining control of his former base. Then on the right hand side, he's got the wing Hussar coming in. Siege engineers coming out for TaToH. He's got blast furnace. As it does, it's gonna try and get a castle up. But TaToH is already aware of this, and he's targeting the villages already, unless TaToH manages to get a quick walls up over here. It seems like this castle is probably going to end up getting denied. TaToH is gonna continue going for more and more winged Hussar. And you can't believe this game. I can't believe this series. TaToH is on a whole different level as Sitaux. Yeah, it's gotta be hurting once again. Does need to get at the very least 1 game over here to have a chance at finishing 3rd. Well, the castle does not get denied. It does indeed result in a lot of villager losses. Sitaux is getting very, very close to as many villager losses as TaToH has taken this game so far. Meanwhile, the 4 castles, they're both going down. Serious, but this game in particular does not make sense. I know how you feel. Yeah. Absolutely. TaToH on 200 population, pretty much stuck. Or locked on 200 population. Should still end up coming out on top, right? It's got the hill advantage for the arbalisters, mind you. So obviously these Hussar will go down to the camels. It was just meant to be a meat shield. The arbalisters are getting surrounded though. For a moment over there. So TaToH's army submerged into a sea of blue. And man, that's gonna be a lot of arbalisters going down. Parade of blood. Sitaux tries to pull the arbalisters back home. Sitaux will come out on top over here though, and he will catch up for population. And the Hussar play from Sitaux. It's looking very strong while TaToH's got his own winged Hussar coming out, which should, on paper, be very strong as well. He does not get plate barred than armor, and still he does get it. And what a game! TaToH's gonna keep on trying to raid, and he's going to keep on getting away with raids. Extra villages scramble around the farms. They do trample damage, I think. If TaToH has gone for the hidden legacy, they do trample damage. I do not know that he has gone for it, so I'm just going to take a look at the tech tree real quickly. 1 second. TaToH, nope, he doesn't have it. He does not have Shlachta privileges. He does not have Lahida Legacy. And it has to go for it though, yeah. Trample damage is definitely a must in this situation. Right hand side. The Hazard coming in from Sitaux. But check this out! Let's go back 30 seconds. He managed to get the castle down at the very last second though as the Hazard were coming in. Unbelievable. Yeah. You know, the lack of Blast Furnace actually is not even that instrumental, I guess. Because he does have 2 extra attack, 2 extra base attack compared to a standard Hazard. So missing plate bar and armor, which is going to give you only 1 extra melee armor. Against enemy Hazard doesn't really make too much of a difference. But while still was able to push TaToH back for the most part on the right hand side, even if he ended up losing the castle. Does it seem like it's gonna be able to hold on against TaToH's push coming in, right? Yeah, the map control has been fantastic. TaToH's got presence on the right hand side corner. He's got presence in the south corner. He's got extra stables over here at TC even, right? He's collecting from so many extra resources. Sitaux, I cannot imagine is going to be able to keep on collecting gold for much longer than this, given how far and wide TaToH's reach is. So on the right hand side, we see that Sitaux is collecting gold from this gold mine. On the left hand side, we see that TaToH is collecting gold from here. So how much gold do we have before Sitaux effectively runs out of it? 3,600 or so. In time, Sitaux focuses on where TaToH can push from a different side. Yeah. 7 relics? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he's got 7 relics. That's going to amount to about 10 workers or so, 10 gold miners, so it's good, I guess, right? TaToH on the other hand is gonna be mining gold for as long as he's got access to it. It's gonna take a while for TaToH to run out of gold and Sitaux to be able to take advantage of the extra relics. That is not that he's able to keep control of those, right? And there you go, guys! Sitaux actually goes on to call the GG over here, and check what he says. Good luck in the final. Sitaux recognizes TaToH is looking absolutely unstoppable over here. The Spaniard beast is going to take the full series over here, 3-0. We'll see a better KD for Sitaux in the end. It's going to be about 7-6, or actually more like 9-8, sorry. Well, TaToH, however, will end up getting a lot of extra resources, 26,000 extra resources. Better villager max count for TaToH as well. They ended up losing a bunch of villagers, but Sitaux at the end of the game, he was left on almost no economy anymore, so it does make sense, right? A little bit of a landslide over here. Incredible game! Absolutely agreed. What a fantastic series. So guys, the next series will begin in a moment. It's going to be also played using record the games, but especially for those on YouTube, we already have some standings information over here. TaToH is pretty much guaranteed right now to finish 3rd, and we are just going to take a look at the StatFrac's website over here to corroborate that. And yeah, you see that TaToH versus Sitaux over here is still up for simulation. TaToH has won all 3, and this is what we get, right? TaToH is locked at 3rd spot behind Vilese. Both players have the same point for games, and then the Viper is going to be 1st. Meanwhile, for Sitaux and Bars, they are going to be contesting the 4th and 5th spots. We are to take a look at the actual standings. Just got refreshed. Let's take a look. Is that a Boomer Boy? Oh, there we go. Yes. Viper's already locked at first. Viles is already locked at second. TaToH's already locked at third. And Sitaux is going to be fighting this one off for a chance to move on to the next season. Still on the same tier, still on the same platinum division. All right,